And hello, scary movie fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan. And once again, bringing you my thoughts and movie review for the brand new scary movie film, Scary Movie, or Scary Movie 6, starring the Wayans brothers, obviously, Anna Faris and Regina Hall as well. They're all back, ready to come back and make us all laugh again. First off, congratulations to everybody involved in the film. It takes a whole team to make a movie or film, depending on what you're watching. And also, where's our trailer, Marvel? I will continue saying this until Marvel releases the Doomsday trailer. So, Scary Movie. It's back. I don't even know how to describe how I feel about this movie because I'm not a huge fan of the Scary Movie franchise. I think the Scary Movie, the first two are great. I like the third one's okay, but I didn't even know that the Wayans brothers didn't even do the third one. I never paid a mind to it as a kid watching those movies. I thought those guys were just funny, you know. Blank Man is still one of my favorite movies that Martin Wayans ever did. So that's my favorite movie of his. Period. Never seen Blank Man? Go watch Blank Man. I love that movie. And also White Chicks as well. So yeah, so they have great comedy movies. Haunted House was great as well. Haunted House 2 was fine too. But then I feel like their stick and their magic kind of went away. Kind of like how Adam Sandler was on a huge comedy run, and then he just kind of filtered away, and all his movies kind of just went to Netflix. And well, some good, not all great. I feel like the same thing here. So, Scary Movie, the new Scary Movie, is basically Scream 5, excuse me. Basically bringing the legacy characters back and the new characters as well. You have the new characters, and, this time you have the Ghostface killer going after everyone, going after everybody, bringing nostalgia to all the old horror movies like Substance. They talk about Terrifier in this movie, Sinners, Weapons. They poke fun of all those movies, and of course having some little fun with little trees as well, if you know what I mean. And so that's as easy as I can give you the plot of this movie without actually trying to figure out how to explain the plot. The plot is basically this is a spoof movie, and how can I put this? How is this movie good or bad? Let me start with the good stuff. There are some moments in here that are funny that I genuinely laughed. There are. I'll admit that right now. I thought there was some stuff in here. There were some little sketches in here that made me laugh, and I was like, clever. I know there are some people out there who didn't watch these the other movies from horror. Like me, I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't watch Weapons, maybe even Sinners. I'm pretty sure people watch Sinners now more than they did when it first came out because Michael B. Jordan won an Oscar for it, so it boosted up for people to be curious about it. Great movie if you've never seen that movie, or even Weapons. Fantastic film. The Substance is also involved in this movie too. A movie that nobody saw, so which Demi Moore was nominated. She was fantastic in that, so go watch that movie as well. So they poke fun of all those movies, and including Scream 5 and 6. And also kind of a little bit of Scream 7 as well. So you have, like I said before, you have Ghostface going after the new cast, and the original cast have to come back so that way they can fight Ghostface one more time and trying to figure out who the killer is in this movie. Simple promise, right? Plot point. So, is this movie funny? Is this movie not? Like I said, I had some moments I chuckled. But overall, honestly, this movie does not work. And I'm sorry. Normally, I laugh at everything. I have a weird humor about everything. And honestly, a lot of movies make me laugh, even when it's not supposed to be funny. Just there are moments there sometimes a character will say something kind of weird and funny at the same time. And I find it funny, Even if it's supposedly poking fun of people's, appearance or whatever, I take it as a joke because, it's supposed to be funny. So, I'm not making fun of people. I'm just saying that, certain scenes of certain movies and comedies will poke fun of people's, disabilities, racism, whatever, color. And the way they were represented, it would be funny. And I will laugh. But in this movie, in this case, I didn't laugh. Like I said, there were a couple moments in here that I did that made me chuckle, but the rest of the movie was just stale. it felt like, if Saturday Night Live decided to do the skits like really, really quick and not hit the jokes, that's what it was. And normally, a comedy's job is to hit jokes and make us, the audience, laugh. And I couldn't get into this movie. There were moments I'm like, oh, they even make fun of Final Destination here too as well. I'm like, that's not funny. That is not funny at all. The opening scene, I give it that. The opening scene and the ending were like the best parts of this movie. And there's one joke in the middle of this movie that made me laugh as well. And that's it. Like I said, I love the Wayans brothers. I think they're great. But I have to be honest, ever since I'm pretty sure they legalized trees now. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not sure. Maybe a lot of states don't have it still. I feel like that's played out now. It's no longer the cool thing. Back when, in the 2000s, when the scary movies first came out and people were, using trees, if you know what I mean, that was funny. That skit was, those skits are funny every time they would play with the trees or use the trees, if you know what I mean. But now it's kind of like how in the 80s when, taking a cigarette and using that for, smoking purposes. And, that back in the 80s, that was like the hot thing. Every movie at least had one scene where an actor would be like, let's light it up or whatever it is, and now, and then in 2000, the same thing with the trees, doing the same thing. But now that it's kind of legal in a lot of places, it's like, is that even funny anymore? Now, if they were using the other stuff that's kind of illegal and very dangerous, don't do drugs, people, then maybe it would have been a little bit more funnier. But I just feel like the whole tree thing now, it's just completely wasted. It's no longer a thing that's cool anymore, Back in the day, yeah, definitely, because it was illegal and nobody was really allowed to use it, but you can get away with it in the movies because it wasn't real, Same thing with back in the 80s when smoking was everywhere, So that shtick is gone past. And I think the Wayans brothers, as funny as they are, and they always will be funny, I think they kind of dropped the ball with this movie. And I honestly think that the scary movie franchise is dead. It's like, yeah, we've got Naked Gun, and it was a really long shot to throw to see if it will stick the landing. And I thought it stuck the landing. There was some stuff that didn't work in that movie, obviously, but it was still funny and it still made me laugh. And as a job, as a comedy movie, you have to make the audience laugh. And yeah, you might get it. You may like it more than I do because, maybe you love it. And that's fantastic. But for me, it just did not work. I'm sorry. For me, it did not work. If you go watch this movie and you laugh your guts out, awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it better than I did. I'm a little jealous that you enjoyed it better than I did because I wanted to like this movie. I wanted to be like, you know what? I've been harsh on the other movies of scary movie franchise. I love the first two. Always and Forever. And, excuse me, I couldn't get into it. I really couldn't get into this movie. And the fact that they made fun of my favorite franchise, Scream, it's like, this is why I like Scream so much better. Don't get me wrong, it was cool to see that version of Ghostface again. He does this silly stick of like getting confused and all this and that. It's fun, but it's just, I feel like it's over. It's over. The scary movie franchise shouldn't have even existed. And I have to be honest, now that I've seen it, it kind of makes me a little nervous about Spaceballs too, which I should not be saying that. That's a blasphemy for me to say that because Spaceballs is my favorite parody movie of all time, and I will always defend that original one because I love that movie so much, and I'm super excited for the new one. But after seeing this, if that movie just comes out and it's not funny, it's like, well, you ruined Spaceballs for me. So it's like, yeah, and that comes out next year, so it's like, it's spoof over before it even got back to being cool again. I don't know. But like I said, if you guys enjoy it, awesome. Happy for all of you guys who go out there, support this movie, and enjoy it. For me, I watched it. It had a couple chuckles, but I didn't really like it. And I'm sorry. So, there you go. So, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about this. Are you guys looking forward to seeing the new Scary Movie? Not looking forward to seeing the new Scary Movie? Did you guys like the original movies? If you don't like it, that's cool. You don't have to. It's fine. There's a cool like, little Easter egg cameo kind of thing in here. that was cool. I appreciated that. I'm like, I hope that actually comes to fruition one day. But if you know, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought. Stay tuned for more. And thank you very much, and have a good day.